What's going on, YouTube? Oh my gosh, yes, he still makes Yu-Gi-Oh content. Yeah, I see the things you guys are saying in the comments, right? I see all of it, and let me just say, remember, I understand that this channel started off with the Yu-Gi-Oh content, but I did say in a couple of videos that Yu-Gi-Oh content is not all I want to fixate on. I want to talk about music and I talk about gaming in general, just anything, everything. Alright, maybe there's something that you guys see out there that you might want me to look at and be like, you know, what do you think about this? Why do you think I started streaming? Right, to connect, to talk to you guys, to build a community. That's why I'm here. But yes, we shall indeed be making a Yu-Gi-Oh video today. Let's get it. So, what do we have here? We have Ghoti, but one of my ever first topping Ghoti lists was Shark Ghoti, and since then, that was what I think back in like 2022 or so, right? Since then, Shark XYZ has gotten some decent support in the new set, which is Rage of the Abyss, which I hope means that there's some more great water options coming. Specifically, I would hope that there's like some decent, maybe some indirect Ghoti support. You know, I would love that. So let's go ahead and look into the deck list, and then go ahead and look at some test runs, right? So for a non-engine, we have 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Veiler, 3 Nib, right? 12 non-engine is pretty standard. This deck is a 2-card, 1.5 card starter kind of deck. So decks like that normally run like 12 hand shops. Decks that normally run 1-card combos can play 15 hand shops, like 10 plan, probably even more than that. So for our X's engine, we play 3 of the boy himself that needs a rarity upgrade. This card should be secret. Buzzsaw Shark. I think we all know what this card does. Target 1, special 1, lock into XYZs. Abyss Shark. Go ahead, if you control waters, special summon itself, add a 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand. XYZ Remora, good extender, might cut it, I'm not sure yet. Lifeless Leaf Fish, great card. And a new card we have here, which is Drake Shark. Once it's added to the hand, it can go ahead and special summon itself. Right, so it's like popular, but not popular because it doesn't add anything. I wish it did. I wish it maybe added like a rank up or something like that. I think Shark is probably the only deck that doesn't have a rank up searcher. Maybe they do, but it's in the extra deck. I think the rank 3 one, Leviath or something like that it's called. I don't remember. But yeah, and also if you would use it for the synchro summon, if you use an XYZ summon or a monster that costs 3 or more, you can just use it as 2. So cards that use 3 X's material, you can use 2 instead. Things that cost 4, you can use 3 instead. Stuff like that, right? Really good. Retrain of Big Jaws. We have Surfacing Big Jaws here. New card. If this card is used for, it's like Buzzsaw, it can be used for a 3 or 5 rank. Also, it searches on someone of a Shark Fish. I can't believe we're finally here, but we have the Shark Rota. But yeah, if you special summon it by its own effect, which as long as you activated a spell card this turn, you can just special summon it, beam it out, and it locks into XYZ for the rest of the turn once you do that. But yeah, very solid card. In this deck it can be that 1 because, highly searchable. Because, we have 1 searcher, 2 searcher, we have about 4 searchers in the deck, right? For this synchro package, we have 1 copy of Sykes, love this card. 1 copy of Snowpiercer, probably the best main deck Ghoti. 3 copies of Paces, because you like Bossa, he makes the combo a lot more flexible if you open him over the others, right? So 2 Shift, 2 Zep, and 1 the man himself. The big off Keith, the Merc of the Ghoti, right? With that, we have the supplementary engine, which should be the Super Samurais. It's a starter. 1 Benkai, Big Benz. 3 Walk to Poland. 3 copies of the bike. 1 Claw. And for our only spells, which is the new Unveil Mail, you don't have to play this. I like it because it's a good discard for the new monster, and also it's it's pretty neat. I don't really understand the effect though, where it says after the card, that if the card equipped with this battled, you can XYZ summon one water monster. Does that mean any water monster does XYZ it out, or does that mean you have to have the appropriate materials? Because it doesn't say with the cards you control, you know. So I have to check that out maybe later. One of the armored XYZs. I'm sure you guys know what this does. Moving on to the extra deck. Our synchros. We have one Ghoti of Infinity. Sorry, one copy of Ghoti Infinity and Deep Beyond. One Qingying, Ghoti Qingying, not Sword Soul. Two copies of Ascan, because I think with Ascan, resolving Ascan more after the grand game is more relevant than resolving Deep Beyond multiple times, right? And plus you can always put it back with Lifeless. One copy of Dragite for our last 8. It's a very decent water end piece. Two copies of another Rota, Fish Rota, which is Orion Post. If you don't know what this does, it basically searches a fish monster by banishing a fish monster when it's a sinker material, and also on summon you can banish a fish from the deck, which most likely will be Sykes 90% of the time. One copy of Kragen. Some cards I didn't really put in the deck list, but I was testing were the new Armored Shark and the Virtue Dragon, and also the Virtue Stream. This deck can run those consistently, but I'm not sure if the Virtue combo is really that worth it. It seems redundant, although it's good into board breakers, but it's a pretty good. It's alright. Maybe in Pure Shark it's better. Maybe in Pure Shark it's a lot better. One copy of Toad. One copy of Baja Blast. One copy of Shark Drake. Can't believe I'm playing this card. I have this card ulti somewhere. I don't remember where though. I do have an ultimate rare copy. One copy of Fortress. Go ahead, detach 2 and then add the 2 targets. You can rank up by using a 3 or 4. The new boy, 332 Shark Drake Leviathan, right? Like, it's crazy because look at this, right? It says you can detach one material quick effect to negate a monster on the field, right? And I made this custom card back in like 2020. I was playing Sharks at the time, and I was like, you know what? I really wish we had something else to play that was water based, and it wasn't like Hope Harbinger. So I made this card. Let me just go ahead and find it here. I made this card. It can rank up by using a rank 5 or higher, or at the time I also said it could use 2 water XYZ monsters together like Hope Harbinger. But what does it do? Well, during the main phase you can detach 2 and target one on the field and negate its effects. Same thing. Konami, just hire me, please. Like, at this point, I'm him. I'm the guy you're looking for. Trust me. A lot of great ideas flowing around in this abyss. But yeah, really good. And also, if it attacks, it does piercing damage and it can attack twice. Also, keep in mind it's half once per turn. So I'm not sure how you would do that. But if you were to somehow get multiple copies on the field, then you can actually go ahead and use it twice. And also, the summon mechanic to bring it out is not once per turn. Yeah, so its effect is self once per turn, and the mechanic to bring it out is also self once per turn. So there is a way to bring up multiple of these. But yeah, this card is a force. The targeting, I mean, I also had it on my card, but targeting a monster on the field seems kind of soft. I only did it because people like to complain about custom cards being broken, and Konami can do whatever they want. So I personally think it should have just targeted a card on the field to help, with like cards like Darker No More, Droplet, stuff like that, help against board breakers. One copy of Full Armor Dart Lancer, and one copy of Anemone that comes up sometimes in combos. But yeah, that's pretty much the list. Let's just go ahead into some test runs to see how it flows, right? Alright, so for our first hand here, we have pretty much what you would most likely want to see in any duel. You know, 3 engine, maybe some non-engine mixed in, right, for going second. But just opening Waka and a Ghoti tuner can accomplish pretty much anything you want. Having the Bossa in hand just adds resilience to the combo, just in case they stop you at some point in time. You already have the Bossa, so you can just continue your plays. But let me just go ahead and show you what we're trying to accomplish here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, activate Waka. You know, we've all seen this a million times before, so let's breeze through it so we don't have to, you know, go ahead and sit down and watch this. But basically we're just going to make Orion posts, of course. You know, chain link 1 Orion post, chain link 2 the Waka Waka, and that's going to banish out a copy of Sykes. And then because we banish Sykes, we can banish a fish from our hand, which is the, you know, shift. Then special summon it, go ahead, activate the effect. Maybe so right here is where you can actually deviate the combo, where you want to go. Maybe a next tuner to make Dragite. Maybe you want to go ahead, just keep it simple and just go directly into the XYZ plays. But let's just go ahead, for the sake of, you know, demonstration purposes, go for the Dragite, right? So let's go ahead, for example here, add the Zep. Having Zep in rotation is pretty nice. Normal summoned it, because we haven't normal summoned. Synchro, also we're supposed to banish one for a sex effect, don't forget that. But in this case we'll also, you know, banish itself. But yeah, synchro summon out the Dragite since we normal summon the tuner, and then this will get its effect to go ahead and banish itself to add a fish with the same or lower level. And in this case we're going to add the new boy, which is the copy of Big Saw. And because we activated a spell card, you know, pendulums do indeed count as spell cards, I believe. If not, feel free to correct me in the comment section, and regardless of that, the combo still works because it's an easy fix. But yeah, since we activated the effect of a spell card this turn, or activate a spell card, we can beam him out, and then by his own effect go ahead and add a copy of Abyss, and then go ahead and special out Abyss. And since we already have the Bossa right here, I personally would go for a copy of Lifeless, right? And then we're going to go ahead, pen out both Lifeless, pen out both Abyss, Lifeless effect to go ahead and dump a copy of Sykes. I'm sorry, Snopios. Right from right here, we can just go right up into this guy. Oops. Go ahead and use, we haven't used the effect of Bossa yet, so we can't overlay just yet. But we'll go ahead right up into this and go into Baja Blast, detached, special summon, right? And then we can go ahead, rank up into the Fortress effect. We'll go ahead and add a copy of both our spells. One is for now, one is for follow-up. Also, the Armored Shark counts as an Armored XYZ card, so you can actually add it off this. Again, the Armored Shark is actually a good option, but it's not overtly, you know, nothing crucial. It's kind of just in case. You can, you know, pin it out, you can have it as follow-up, you can do a lot of things with it. But yeah, we add these two cards, and then we'll go ahead, use the effect of Bossa targeting itself to bring our Shark Drake, and then we can go ahead, overlay these two. Just for the sake, because we didn't do before, let's just use it to have more materials, I guess. But you don't have to. Again, Shark Drake counts as 2. But yeah, we'll go ahead, make this, and then special out this by discarding a spell, and then effect, because it was sent to the graveyard this turn. In the end phase, it's attached to an Xyz monster, and then we just rank up into this guy, and then during the end phase again, effect to go ahead and put this guy in here. So now Toad cannot be threatened by the battle phase, because a lot of persons like to go ahead and just threaten Toad, you know, and yeah, so they have to deal with it another way. and then during the standby phase of the next turn, this guy will come back. So right here we essentially have an attach, the effect to go ahead and negate something and make it 0, the effect to go ahead and negate something and take it, a spell and trap negate. We have 2 hand traps in hand, and if somehow, somewhere they're doing things and we can't stop them, we can just press the deep beyond button and just wipe the board, right? But yeah, the reason why I also like to attach this to Toad is because let's say we go ahead and, you know, do our plays, effects. This is going to go ahead and create a new chain link 1, chain link 2, add that back the copy of Snopius to our hand, right? And then we can go ahead and say, you know, negate something, and then negate something. And let's say our opponent wasn't really able to go ahead and beat our board, so we don't have to deep beyond. Let's say they set a card, which is fine. In the end phase, this is going to go ahead and attach to the no short Drake, which will then trigger the effect of Lancer to take whatever card that they might have set up to try to stop you on your crackback. And then from here we just, you know, do whatever, because we can go ahead and banish out the Zep for, you know, making a synchro, whatever synchro you want to make. And no, that's pretty much the game from there. Let's try another hand, shall we? Alright, so for this hand we opened access to Waka and also a copy of a tuner. Shift twice, which is fine, you know, but yeah, it's pretty much going to be the same thing. Does, depending on what you want to end on, the routes you want to take, you might have to change things up a little, and also depending on where they interact with you. So let's say for example they go ahead, activate the effect, we go ahead and, you know, scale Waka, scale Benkai. You know how this goes. You know, chain link 1, chain link 2. But let's say for example, you know, most persons, when they understand what Ghoti does, they will realize that Arian Post is an integral part of the combo, and they'll go ahead and say, alright, Imperm or Veiler on the Arian Post, right? But we opened up the tuner, so we can just go ahead, normal summon the tuner, synchro up into Dragite, and then Dragite effect to go ahead and add a copy of the Buzzsaw, sorry, the Big Jaws. And essentially from here, if they don't have any more points of interaction, we're just going to go ahead and, you know, full combo. So we'll go ahead, special it out since we go ahead, we activate that spell card. That effect to go ahead and bring out the Abyss to add a copy of Buzzsaw this time, since we didn't have access to it in our opening hand. And we're going to go ahead now and pen summon the copy of Buzzsaw, and then effect to bring out a copy of Shark Drake directly. Then we can go ahead and overlay number 1 into Baja Blast effect, bring out the copy of Dragite, sorry, bring out the Toad, go ahead overlay these into Shark Drake. And because Abyss can count us at level 3 or 4 for number monsters, which, you know, number 32, so then we'll go ahead, go up into Fortress detach 2, then we'll go ahead and add the 2 cards, and then we'll just go ahead. Also, sometimes this may happen, but always remember to go ahead and banish your Shift if you realize you're not going to be having any more fish on the field. But you can banish your Shift preemptively for next turn, and then just, you know, rank up into the Lancer, discarding this to go ahead and rank up into the no Shark Drake, right? So that's playing through 1 hand trap. And, you know, again, I guess it's a case where if they were to stop you on Big Jaws, it would be bad because of the hand we drew. You know, we didn't have any access to any other level 4s. But it's, you know, if they stop you with 1 hand trap and you have at least, you know, 1 interaction versus their 5 card hand. So you have 4 interactions versus their 5 card hand. You know, you could still win the game right from there. Plus, it's a case where, you know, you're gonna have Dragite, 3 hand traps, and also deep beyond that they have to contend with. So you know, you'd still probably be in a good game. Whereas that we're in kind of a state where negates aren't really so generic anymore, because Toad isn't that generic kind of a negate. It's, you know, relegated to water monsters. This is for sure not generic, as you can clearly see, and you know, so on and so forth. And then this will go ahead and equip in the end phase, and then once again this is going to go ahead and come back. And you know, you want to go ahead and have this up here and have this down here to go ahead and, you know, protect it from enema. So, you know, stuff like that can also come up. But yeah, also this card has the effect that you can detach 2 materials from this card and target 1 sponge up on the field and attach it to this card, which I find that weird. I mean, I really do wish it was a quick effect. If that was a quick effect, that this boss monster would be crazy, because it would be a negate, and the removal would be sick. Would be pretty sick. Last test hand. Alright, so now for this test hand, we have 1 Keef, a Bell, a Waka, Paces, and Veiler. With this hand, you know, you could just do the same combo I showed you from earlier, you know. But what if, like, for example, you maybe want to go more into the Ghoti engine than the XYZ engine? Then, you know, there's some deviations to do. Let's go ahead and just do the usual. Scale Waka. Go ahead and, you know, send the Soul Claw. Make the Arion Puss. Go ahead, banish out Sykes. And also, interacting with Arion Post is pretty much the best spot for them to interact with you, because everything else won't be as impactful. And depending on your hand, not interacting with Arion Post is... So if I'm a person who's dueling a deck like this and I'm reading Arion Post, not interacting with Arion Post non-tal is a lot worse than interacting with it, because let's say that my hand is good enough to play through your interaction and Arion Post, sure. But what if it's not? There's no other really choke point other than this and Big Jaws. So, yeah. So if we go ahead here and, you know, banish out the Sykes, and then Sykes will banish out the Paces from our hand, and then instead of adding Big Jaws or Bossa, we'll go into a Shift. We'll go ahead and, for example, here we could banish the Shift, right? But if we do that, we won't have access to the XYZ engine. So let us go ahead and, you know, banish the Sykes. Yeah, banish Sykes. We'll go ahead and synchro these off into a copy of Dragite, and then effect to add a copy of Big Jaw. Go ahead and add Big Jaw. Then we'll go ahead beam out Big Jaw to add Abyss, of course, and Abyss to go ahead and special itself and add a copy of Buzz. Alright, so from here, remember we don't really want to go ahead and alright, so what do you want to accomplish? You want to have 2 turns on the field with Arion Post, and you know, you just want to like pass on a couple of the XYZ cards. Then you can just go ahead, overlay these 2 into this guy because they're both 5. Detach the 2. Add both cards. Make some space. We'll go ahead now and pendulum summon out the Bossa. Special out the copy of Keef, because we won't have any more fish on the board after this. And then we can just go ahead, bring out a copy of the Drake Shark. Where is it? There it is. The Drake Shark. You know, overlay into Shark Drake. And then go ahead and discard this to bring out a copy of the new Shark Drake. And then effecting the end phase to re-equip itself to a monster. Now that monster cannot be destroyed by a battle. And then on the following turn, well, we can go ahead and banish this, and then on the following turn we would have this field set up, right? You would have a negate, a take, and then Keith can go ahead and banish itself to re-1 Orion Post, which just turns on the entire Ghoti engine, right? To go up into Ascan, and then this will go ahead and search out like a Snopios, and then Deep Beyond and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much some couple test runs here. Tell me what you guys think about the deck in the comment section. And also, does anybody else find it weird that Konami came out with the Drake deck after releasing Whitewoods, you know, a deck about little girls in the forest? I'm just saying. But yeah, with that being said, stay safe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.